ask yourself, does this align with what matters most right now? If not, maybe the answer is a simple no. And perhaps it's a not right now, but maybe in January kind of answer. Hi there, I'm Vanessa Kaiser, a ranch girl turned social worker, business leader, and now entrepreneur. I'm passionate about diving into organization, leadership, personal growth, and efficiency. Around here, we call it rhythmic living, that continuous cycle of assessing the season of life that we're in and creating habits, routines, and processes that serve us best. This show is for the busy, the dreamers, the tired, the go-getters, those who want to live fully, grow steadily, and feel inspired each day. Welcome to the Inspiring Heights podcast. Welcome to a Christmas present. Strategies for juggling jingle bells and joy. In this special series, we are diving into the top 4 holiday topics requested by you, our listeners, and sharing tips for embracing both the joys and the challenges of the season. Each episode begins with the 3 most frequently asked questions about the day's topic, along with my insights. From there, we'll explore 5 practical strategies for leaning into the theme and making the most of this time. Thank you so much for joining us this holiday season. Now, as Santa would say, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, we've got places to go. If you've been feeling stretched thin, trying to juggle work and life and everything in between, listen up. My brand new course, The Productivity Playbook, Strategies for a Harmonious Life, is now live, and I created it with you in mind. This course is packed with practical tools to help you increase your productivity at work, build life-giving routines at home, and avoid that all too familiar burnout. You'll learn how to reclaim your time and find more balance, whether you're a professional powerhouse, managing a household, or doing both. So if you're ready to take control of your time and create a life that feels more aligned and less overwhelming, head to inspiringheights.org/courses to enroll today. You will also find this link in the show notes. I can't wait to see you inside the course. It seems this time of year, filled with tidings of great joy and cheer, is also packed with a very full schedule. Getting together with friends before the end of the year, hosting holiday parties, shopping for and wrapping up gifts, making goodie baskets for our neighbors and our teachers and our hairdressers, and planning an absolutely epic family gathering on Christmas Day. It's easy to see how the season schedule can get a little tight. But this isn't a new conversation, is it? We talk about it every year. In fact, as I was sitting down to think through this episode, I asked myself, is this even worth talking about? There's so many influencers weighing in on this topic. Is it necessary? But here's where I landed. We have this conversation each year because it's relevant each year. While there are different times of the year where we may all experience a busy season here and there, collectively around the holiday season, most of us see an uptick in to-dos and to-bes on our calendar. And this busy is different because there's an underlying expectation that Christmas cheer is wrapped up in all of it. So we can easily find ourselves battling our stress and the unspoken expectation that we smile and make it all look like fun. So yes, here we are having this conversation once again, in a hope that it is a practical help to our schedules and a soothing balm to our overwhelmed hearts. Let's start by digging into some of the most frequently asked questions about managing our holiday schedules. Question number 1. How do I manage my time so that I can enjoy the season without feeling rushed? Wouldn't we love a magic bullet answer to this question? Each year, I think if I could just get my Christmas shopping done early, then I wouldn't feel so crowded in December. The truth of it is, though, is that gift shopping isn't the only thing that fills our time, so that thinking is a little short-sighted. To be sure, planning and preparing things ahead of time can be really helpful in managing our busy holiday time. But since we're a ways into the Christmas season already, and as far as I know, time travel back to October doesn't exist, let's talk about what we can do right now moving forward. My favorite way to help make the most of time, especially during a full season, is to look for opportunities to batch tasks. If you're unfamiliar with the term, task batching is a time management strategy where similar or related tasks are grouped and completed together to reduce distraction, increase focus, and improve efficiency. Here are a few examples of Christmas batching. Scheduling the phone call with your bestie and wrapping presents to happen at the same time. Wrapping presents is a fairly mindless activity, and talking on the phone doesn't require you to sit still and look in someone's eyes. They are the perfect thing to pair together. Or how about doubling the batch of sugar cookie dough, even though you only need one batch today? You put the second batch in the freezer, and then you bake it when you need it in a couple weeks. Maybe try grabbing the white elephant gift from the store while you're picking up groceries for Christmas movie night, checking both to-dos off your list with just one outing. Now, I do hope you can get excited about batching and saving yourself some time. But before you run wild through your to-do list and start batching everything together, let me tell you a quick secret. If we clear hours in our week through batching, but we don't have a plan for how we're going to use that time we got back, we will end up not using it the way we want. So batch your heart out, sister. Just make sure you know where you're spending the time you're getting back in return. Question number 2. What is the best way to say no to invitations or requests without feeling guilty? I love this question because I think most of us wrestle with the feelings of guilt when it comes to saying no. Stay tuned because we are going to unpack the importance of a good no below. But for now, let's just focus on how we say no like nice humans. Just like setting boundaries with our families, saying no to others can be done well if we know what specifically we are wanting to communicate. I am a fan of practicing our no. That way, we are comfortable with our words and we are confident that they are portraying our true heart posture behind them. If we're turning down our dear friend's invitation to our 15th holiday party this month, which one better portrays the posture of our heart? Sorry, can't make it. Or, you are always such a great host and I so wish that I could be there. My schedule this month is filled up, so I can't make it this year. I do hope that we can get together soon, though. Perhaps we could schedule a time that first week in January. If this was someone you didn't care for, perhaps the first answer would suffice. But since we know that this is a dear friend, I think most of us would vote number 2. And why? Because it communicates that our no is in no way about them and that we do, in fact, want to connect. Okay, question number 3. How do I stay present with loved ones despite a packed schedule? Yeah, I can really relate to this question. When my mind is moving fast, it can be hard to sit still in a moment. Like, yes, I know that watching Home Alone is a tradition for us, but while we partake in this tradition, I'm just going to quick check my email and then post a reel and then do some last-minute Christmas shopping. And then all of a sudden, we aren't there. We're in our own little world, miles and miles and miles away. It's easy to be distracted, but much like everything else, first and foremost, we get to make the choice that we aren't going to live distracted this Christmas season. Hear me out. I have tips for how we lean into this, but if we don't start here, we're piling tips onto a hopeless dream because isn't there simply just too much to do to be present? But if we can start by acknowledging that we actually hold the authority to live present, we can lean in and put the tools to good work. Okay, here's the tools. First, much like cleaning experts tell us to do with our home, decide that the tasks on your to-do list have a time slot. I'm not saying that we plan each minute of every day. We all know sometimes tasks take more time than we ever planned they would. What I am suggesting, however, is that we block out time for our to-do list. But when that time has ended, our to-do list gets set down and we get to be present at whatever is next. Second, invite in accountability. Tell your people it's important to you that you are present with them during this season. Ask them to call you out if they see you slipping away into another world while you're hanging out together. Third, treat family and friend time just like you would an appointment or a work meeting. Write it on the calendar, protect it, show up for it. When you reach for your phone to catch up on social media during family game night, ask yourself, would I do this if I were in a meeting with a client? When a work call comes in at the end of the day just as you're headed out the door for a scheduled family Christmas movie night, before you engage, ask yourself, if my bestie were calling to chat with me when I was headed into a work meeting, would I push the work meeting off last minute to catch up with her? No? Then don't do it at home. All right, now let's dive into our 5 tips for creating enough breathing room in our Christmas season that we really can take time to go build Frosty the Snowman. Tip number 1, pause for a quick moment and name what's most important for the rest of the holiday season. I know we're already into the season a ways here, and there is no going back. And you know what? That's okay. We can't change the past, but we can look forward to what's ahead. What matters to you for the rest of this month? And then do all of the things on your schedule align with your priorities? If not, do you need to graciously bow out of some of them? Now, I'm not suggesting that we leave people in a lurch because we've changed our mind last minute. But friends, your neighbor 12 houses down that you've met twice will probably not lose sleep over the fact that you're bowing out of their 100+ guest list holiday party. Once you've named your priorities for the remainder of this glorious month, try to keep them top of mind and use that as a filter before you make any new commitments. Ask yourself, does this align with what matters most right now? If not, maybe the answer is a simple no. And perhaps it's a not right now, but maybe in January kind of answer. Either way, when we know what matters to us, we can hold confidence in the decisions that we make moving forward. Tip number 2, get comfy saying no. We talk about how to break the news of a no above, so I don't think we need to rehash that. I do, however, want to talk about why this is critical. Some things are an easy no, things we don't enjoy or they're just not our scene. We seem to be able to find an easy excuse for those. Where the struggle comes into play is when the thing does actually sound fun, or the people who are asking us, we really like them and we want to make them happy. And so it's hard when the answer needs to be no. This is why knowing our priorities and having some idea of what we're wanting to communicate when we offer up our no is important when we're approaching those conversations. Because saying no is hard enough without having to fumble around for good words. Let's take this one step further, shall we? Sometimes the person we have to say no to is ourselves. No, I will not make 20 dozen cookies and decorate them all by hand for the school Christmas brunch. No, I will not raise my hand to plan the office Christmas party. No, I will not offer to bring the main course and dessert to Christmas dinner for our family gathering of 30 people. Part of protecting our schedule is saying no to some of the things that we ourselves pile unnecessarily onto our own plates. I am so guilty of doing this, pushing a little too hard to make things extra special, but then feeling disappointed when the work didn't seem to drive the results I was hoping for. This is a sure sign I could have done with a, no thanks, maybe plan to make those cookies in January. Tip number 3, keep track of your commitments. If you're a planner person, you're wondering if I'm about to tell you something magical. If you're not a planner person, you may have just taken a deep sigh and have your finger headed straight for the fast forward button. One of the things we talk about at length in the Productivity Playbook, Strategies for a Harmonious Life course, is managing our time. One important aspect of managing our time is to look all the way around our commitments. For example, If we commit to being at our mini BFF's Christmas pageant, we have to remember that the pageant itself isn't the only component of our commitment. It's also getting ready, driving to the show, the pageant itself, and then driving back to wherever we're headed. When we agree to host a Christmas party in our home, it isn't just that Friday night from 6 to 9. It's all the time leading up to the party that we put in planning and preparing, and all the time after the party that we put into cleaning up. When we make a commitment, we need to ensure that we are understanding the commitment time in its entirety. This week, take a little bit to sort through your upcoming commitments and make sure you've accounted for the whole time they will take. If you're a planner person, this task will come easier for you. Sorry, non-planner people, it's just the truth of the matter. If you fall into the latter camp, don't worry, I'm not coming for your Christmas dinner. Just jot down your commitments on a piece of paper or in your notes app and make sure that your schedule accommodates all of it. Tip number 4, schedule time for the little moments. When our schedule includes appointments written in pen called Enjoy the Special Moments at 6 p.m. on Monday, it changes the game completely. All of a sudden, on the fullest nights of the season, we don't have to wonder what would happen if we would have just taken time to walk in the snow or enjoy a cup of cocoa on the couch with hubby while just the Christmas lights illuminate the room. Because we scheduled that, we prioritized that, and we made it happen. Part of getting to January and not looking back on December with regret is doing the work of carving out time for the little joys. Tip number 5. Keep a January to-do list and don't be afraid to use it. I've noticed in the middle of really packed seasons, I often find myself thinking of all of the things that I've been meaning to tackle. Maybe you can relate. Make those bathroom curtains, master sourdough, learn to play the guitar, revamp the cleaning schedule, buy the thing I've been meaning to try. The list just keeps growing. Sometimes I think this is a stress response, and other times it's simply because our minds are already racing, so new ideas keep popping in. Either way, a flood of to-dos isn't especially helpful right now, but these ideas can take up a lot of headspace if we don't have somewhere to go with them. Here's a strategy. Open your phone or your planner, flip to a notes page and label it January. Whenever a new task or goal pops up that doesn't quite fit this season, jot it down on that list. Once the holidays are over, you can revisit it with fresh eyes and decide if any of those tasks truly belong on your to-do list or if it was just your stress brain working in overdrive. Friend, while the Christmas season can feel jam-packed, the great news is that we have control over our schedules. Realizing that we get to choose what the rest of December looks like allows us to be intentional with our time and to make space for what matters the most. This choice puts us in the best position to fully embrace the tools that bring balance and joy to this season. As a special gift for you, I have created a free Priority Finder worksheet to help you name, set, and lean into what matters the most to you this Christmas season. You can download your free worksheet by heading over to inspiringheights.org/Priority Finder. Enter your email address, and the gift will be promptly sent to your inbox. Again, that's inspiringheights.org/Priority Finder. I have also linked this in the show notes for you for easy access. Before I go, I wanted to share something special with you. I have created a free personal strategic planning guide designed to help you close out 2024 and step into 2025 with life-giving intentionality. It's a gift to support you as you plan for a meaningful and productive year ahead. You can grab your copy at inspiringheights.org/freebies/2025 personal strat plan. That's inspiringheights.org/freebies/2025 personal strat plan. I'll also drop a link in the show notes to make it easy on you. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for tuning in today.
Do you have questions, comments, or insights on today's content? I would love to hear from you. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, or head over to our website, inspiringheights.org, and click on the Contact Us form. I will link all those locations here in the show notes. P.S. If you haven't already, I would love for you to leave a 5-star rating and a quick review of the podcast. This helps get our content in the hands of new listeners. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and follow us on social media for rhythmic doses of inspiration. All right, friends, take a deep breath and be inspired where your feet are. Bye for now.